from the basement of Sturgis, it's the Basement Benchwarmers Podcast.
Yeah, we're live from the basement of Sturgis, basically underneath a dirt road. That's where we are tonight. Ed, Eric, Willie, and myself back, the Basement Benchwarmers. So as we start for a week, Ed, how was your week?
It wasn't great. I woke up yesterday and noticed I was missing more hair. But then, this morning I felt better because I turned on a podcast, and who's the most famous podcast guy? Joe Rogan, right? He's bald. And then Alyssa Milano, she's bald too, I guess, now. So I guess it's not that bad.
Eric, how about you?
I didn't know she was bald. That's awesome.
Well, he's not talking about her.
Where is she
Never
going?
mind. Go ahead.
Well, I just realized that it's show number 23.
Yeah, 23.
And so I know we talked about Jordan a ton early on in the show, but let's dedicate this show to the greatest number 23 ever other than Michael Jordan, Ryan Sandberg.
Ryan Sandberg.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was going to say Don Mattingly, but yeah, we'll go with Sandberg.
Yeah.
I was going to say Devin Hester, but we'll move on.
So everybody has their own opinion on this, I guess.
Dave Parker.
Willie, to you.
Willie.
Well, hey, I'm doing well, but I was up in Door County this weekend. And,
Without me.
And I drove by the campsite, and I noticed my friend wasn't with me, and missed you, buddy.
I'm getting a tattoo of a tear. Right here.
You better read what that means before you do that tattoo.
Does Devin Hester have one?
It doesn't mean you boned Willie.
He said bone.
Can we say that on the podcast?
It's going to be marked explicit again.
Yes, the little E helps us.
Yep.
So, Scooter, you always ask how we're doing. How you doing, pal?
I'm doing good. I sound a little stuffed up, and I don't have the vid. I'm calling it the vid now. I'm starting to short it out. What's going on is I had nasal surgery done like about 6 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, something like that. And I went back for my follow-up this past Monday, and the man stuck a suction thing in my nose and started sucking things out. Well, as he's sucking things out, he goes, "Whoa, hold on, let's see what we got here." And I'm like, "Okay, what do you got here?" So he goes in with a pair of tweezers and pulls out the biggest booger I've ever seen in my life. I swear to God, that thing looked like the smallest prune in a bag of prunes. That's how big this thing was.
Golf ball size?
And he pulled it out, and I was like, wow, I can breathe great. But now I've got every allergy in the world, I think, from that, and I've had irritation since last Monday. So, but hey, the price you pay to breathe easy and then maybe live an extra 2 years of my life. So,
Well, it's amazing because you did that to get a better radio voice. I know that's why you did the surgery. If we ever go live on TV, you're going to need a lot of plastic surgery, too.
yeah, I'm just working on the radio stuff. It's way cheaper.
We all have faces for radio.
The podcast stuff. So tonight on tonight's show, let's move on from my big boogers that they pulled out of my nose. We got a little snake draft tonight. Tonight is going to be the best SNL characters we can talk about. Our brawl is going to be something different. We'll talk about that when we get to it. And our beer channel will be here, our shower stall, and also our fan poll question this week was greatest action sequence in a movie. And at the end of the bench, I'm going to talk about a coach from Toronto and the Clevenger Plesac saga from Cleveland last week, and that'll also be the topic of our top 10. Just remember, check us out on Facebook at Basement Benchwarmers, also on Instagram, Basement Benchwarmers, Twitter is Base Benchwarmer, and our email is basementbenchwarmers@gmail.com. So let's start off with our snake draft. And our snake draft tonight, like I said, is SNL characters. So we're going to start off with Ed tonight. And his character is, well, he can introduce her and I'll give you a little clip. Who's your character, Ed?
Debbie Downer.
Here we go.
Oh, I'm thankful that someone in this family has a date. I was going to bring a guy I met on Match.com, but after we exchanged photos, I never heard from him again.
You're enjoying your day, everything's going your way. Then along comes Debbie Downer. Always there to tell you about a new disease, a car accident or killer bees. We beg her to spare you, Debbie, please, but you can't stop Debbie Downer.
Sweetheart, you look cute in that tie.
Hey, you should see me in my underwear.
Did you guys get tested?
What?
Well, you think you know someone, then you see that Oprah about living on the down low.
I'd like to propose a toast.
All right, here we go.
Okay? I'd like to welcome Mark. We're very happy that you're here.
Also, like us all to remember Grandma. I'm sure she's looking down on us and smiling.
Yep. I hope it's the version of her before she was in the grips of dementia. Otherwise, she'd just be confused.
Yeah, and then she goes on always to say, somebody will say something about the cats, and she goes, feline AIDS is the biggest killer of domestic cats.
Actually,
it goes meow.
I couldn't get one right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't get one right. It was hilarious, but I couldn't get the right one to put on there. But yeah, the feline AIDS is pretty good. So the next pick in our draft is Eric. And Eric, who introduced your fella?
Well, I got Matt Foley as mine.
Give it up for my man, Matt Foley! How do you doing this, Sean? They all your bitches now, Matt. You got it, homie. Alrighty. Now, as Deshaun told you, my name is Matt Foley, and I am a former motivational speaker. Currently serving 3 to 5 years for non-payment of alimony. I better begin by telling you a little bit about myself. I'm 35 years old. I am thrice divorced. And I wish to dear God that I was living in a van down by the river.
Oh, God, that's great. I know everybody knows the other scene where, he's on a straight diet of government cheese, But, yeah, I mean, Chris Farley playing Matt Foley, it's just an amazing thing. Yeah, he's definitely my favorite by far. That's my favorite character.
Okay, and next up is Willie. Who is your fella?
Gumby, damn it!
You got it's Gumby. They know who the hell it is. I'm Gumby, damn it. I'm Gumby. What are you doing here? What am I doing here? The question, Michael Che, is how the hell are you going to put on a show and not have me in the show until now? I should have been in every damn sketch from the top. I'm the one that made that Eddie Murphy a star. He was just a regular coon boy till I saw him. So I met him. So we just thought people wouldn't know who you were. How the hell are people not going to know who I am? I'm Gumby, damn it. Let me tell you something. I saved this damn show from the gutter. And it's thanks to me. This is the thanks that I get for saving the show. Shame on you, Lorne Michaels. Shame on you, NBC. Shame on you.
All right, Gumby, just calm down. Calm down.
Don't tell me to calm down, trailer boy. And I gotta sit and listen to this black bastard telling me people won't remember who I am? You know why?
He's even laughing.
You know why you two are behind this desk? Because your jokes don't have legs, you schmucks.
I tell you what, not only was that guy fun to listen to, he was fun to look at in that get-up that he had there. And who doesn't remember watching Gumby and Pokey back in the day when we were kids, This, like, what was it? They made him out of clay, right? Claymation?
I don't remember that.
Jesus, what the hell? That's right, your black and white TV?
His next one's going to be buckwheat. And he's going to go, remember when we watched that as kids?
Okay.
Okay, so my selection for my first pick in the snake draft for SNL characters is Irving Mainway. You might remember him.
I have with us tonight Mr. Irwin Mainway, president of Mainway Toys. Mr. Mainway, your company manufactures the following so-called harmless playthings. Pretty Peggy ear-piercing set, Mr. Skin Grafter, General Tron secret police confession kit, and Doggy Dentist. Well, we'd like to show you another one of Mr. Mainway's products. It retails for $198, and it's called Bag of Glass. Mr. Mainway, this is simply a bag of jagged, dangerous glass bits.
Yeah, right. It's it's a glass. It's broken glass. It sells very well, as a matter of fact. It's just broken glass.
I don't understand. I mean, children could seriously cut themselves on any one of these pieces.
Yeah, well, look. A kid, the average kid, he picks up, broken glass anywhere. The beach, the street, garbage cans, parking lots, all over the place in a big city. We're just packaging what the kids want. I mean, it's a creative toy. I mean, you hold this up, you see Colors, you see all the colors of rainbows, I mean, it teaches them about light refraction, prisms and that stuff, prisms, you know what I mean?
I see.
You know what I mean?
Oh, so you don't feel that this product is dangerous?
No, come on, look. We put a label on every bag. It says, kid, be careful, broken glass. I mean, we sell a lot of products in the Bag-O line. A bag of glass, there's a bag of nails, bag of bugs, bag of vipers, bag of sulfuric acid. I mean, decent toys, you know what I mean?
So that's Irving Mainway, who was actually Dan Aykroyd, and that was Candace Bergman in that clip. I forgot to mention in the first clip with Gumby, that was Michael Che and Colin Jost from Weekend Update with him. And Debbie Downer was
Rachel Dratch.
Rachel Dratch, but with her was Owen Wilson, and also Horatio Sands was in the scene, and I can't remember the girl's name. And
Amy Poehler.
Amy Poehler, yes, very famous. And in the Matt Foley was Martin Lawrence was the introduction of that.
Awesome.
And it was hilarious. That was a typical Matt Foley, I was going to say, because that scene, they were all laughing. It was Adam Sandler in the room, David Spade, all his buddies, and they were all cracking up when he was doing his Matt Foley. So, and the Gumby thing, you heard him laughing during the thing too. They were laughing. So, so that's our first pick. So my pick coming back, I'm going to go with someone that. Well, you know what? I'm going to go with the cheerleaders. That would be Will Ferrell and Sherry O'Terry. I was going to use them as my clip, but it's so hard because they're just so visual. I mean, it was insane, hilarious. They're funny.
Physical comedy.
Yeah, it was. It was great. So that's my second pick is the cheerleaders, Will Ferrell and Sherry O'Terry. So, Willie, who's your second pick?
Rosanna Dana.
Rosanna
Oh, that's a throwback.
Gilda
That's
Radner.
awesome.
I tell you what, I'm the one I always remember. She was like talking to this person, and she goes, "And on the end of her nose was a big sweat ball. There's a sweat ball. I just wanted to flick that thing off." So I wish that was a.
You ever eaten a hamburger and you get one of them toenail things in there?
So, who is next? I forgot. Was it Eric? Sorry.
So for my second pick, I have Gene Frankel, and everybody knows this. Everybody knows this skit is the More Cowbell skit.
Yep.
And Gene was told to explore the space for more room with that cowbell, and he sure as heck did. Gene Frankel, played by Will Ferrell, unbelievable scene.
When Bruce Dickinson asks for more cowbell, guys, I think we should give him more cowbell.
The best part is that the shirt keeps rising up. You see his gut hanging out.
You see his belly button the whole time, and then he does
He does it.
One of the takes, he does a little protest where he's just like right in front of the lead singer, dink, 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 right in his freaking ear. It's so awesome. But Gene, he explored the space, that's for sure.
So we got Ed here for two.
I'm going with Pat.
Okay.
I actually watched a couple of the clips last night, and I was like, this would never fly nowadays. Everybody just asking, trying to figure out if Pat's a man or a woman.
That's right.
And she's always got some weird answer that throws me even farther off. Let's see, my second one. I'm gonna cheat a little bit here. I'm going with the Blues Brothers.
Oh,
They're it's my favorite
Legendary.
musical movie of all time, even better than The Sound of Music and West Side Story. The Blues Brothers.
Yeah, they'd have to be probably top 5 most famous SNL starter skits, where it came from type thing. So yeah, that's a great one. Eric.
Well, Trebek, for 400, I'll take Schwartz. And that's Daryl Hammond playing Sean Connery, the rapists. When it was supposed to be therapists. I don't know. How about your mom, Trebek?
Go ahead, Willie.
I'm going with the nerds, Lisa Lupner and Todd DeLamura.
Yeah, the nerd. They were good.
It was funny because they were always. It was Gilda Radner and Bill Murray. I think this is probably like in the best of Saturday Night Live. I mean, those characters are awesome.
Okay, I got two here, and I'm going to go with another franchise that was built off a skit. Wayne and Garth, Wayne's World, was incredible. Comical. Mike Myers, Dana Carvey, two funny guys within themselves. Actually, I think Dana Carvey's probably funnier, but they're both funny guys. So Wayne and Garth. And I'm going to jump on the bandwagon with where Eric was, and I'm going to take Alex Trebek himself, Will Ferrell. Yeah, it was awesome as that. So, Willie?
Unfrozen caveman lawyer. That's Phil Hartman, man.
Yep. Yeah.
And probably one of the best was when they sang that Christmas Carol, where you had maybe he did all of them. I mean, wasn't Phil Hartman also like Frankenstein?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
And
he
then,
was.
Who was the Indian? Lovitz.
Yeah.
That's the ticket.
Yes, that ticket.
That's right. But yeah, Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer.
I'll have fries with that. No fries, just chips.
Oh yeah, good one.
I got Pete at the front counter, which was played by Belushi. Just everything they cheeseburger. No fries, chips. The Coke. No Coke, just Pepsi. That's my guy right there, Belushi.
And Ed?
I'm going with another Belushi to finish up. I'm going with the Samurai.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Which, again, would never fly on TV today. But the best was somebody would come in and he would be like Samurai Deli, and he'd be like, he'd be like, Sayata! And the guy's looking at his number, doing nothing. It's always like Buck Henry or something.
Right.
And he'd be like, oh, Hayata! Nothing. Oh yeah, it's me. Every time. And then he actually cut Buck Henry with a sword the one time, hit him right across the forehead. It actually bled him.
Really?
Yeah. Well, he's all high on goofballs or something, Belushi. But
So I got how about a curveball question now? Who is one of the best guest host characters you've seen on the show that you can think of? I'm going to go with a person I think who's been hilarious over the years, and I can't even think of the character, but he's played from the Gift Wrapped Singer and Dick in the Box. Justin Timberlake
JT,
and with Jimmy Fallon are incredible. They're hilarious, and Justin Timberlake has a future in whatever you want. He was in that one movie at one time where they killed the buddy or whatever. Was he in that movie? What was that called? With Hirsch's
Alpha
son?
Dog.
Alpha Dog. That's a great movie. Watch it if you haven't seen it. Justin Timberlake was in that movie, correct?
Yes, he was.
Yes.
And then he was also in, Social Network?
Yes,
he was the Napster.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. But yeah, Justin Timberlake is hilarious on Saturday Night Live and a very good actor. He's just funny, and I was just watching that today with him and Jimmy Fallon doing "Come on down to the rap" or whatever. It was hilarious.
And the most favorite songs from that Lonely Island album was "Dick in the Box."
"Dick in the Box" and "Mother Lover" was pretty famous too.
Yeah. I like that. That's usually my walkout song at a bar. And the jukebox walkout.
I just had sex.
And
I'm on a boat.
I'm on a boat. Yeah.
I'm on a boat.
So anybody else have any other guests?
Peyton Manning was awesome.
Well, we talked about Peyton.
Yeah.
You're right. Peyton Manning was incredible for being an athlete. Because Michael Jordan, I love Michael Jordan to death, but he was god awful on Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
He really was. He was terrible.
I'll tell you. I know we. I don't know what we think about this guy, but Alec Baldwin with the sweaty balls.
Yeah, that was the NPR with.
Is he Trump too now, or
yeah,
he does play Trump. I don't watch the show right now, but
the Anna Gasteyer was the NPR host, and he was talking about his recipe for sweaty balls. Yep,
her and Jan Hooks, wasn't it?
That was a Christmas episode too. It was around Christmas time. Yeah, Jan Hooks. Yeah,
I think that's what Ed's going to do next year for the Christmas sweater.
Everybody loves me.
Sweaty balls.
He's wearing sweaty balls.
I'm going to have my chocolate salty balls probably.
do you have one, Willie?
Oh man, there's so many.
South Park, I like it. South Park.
We were talking about athletes who have been on, SNL. Alex Karras, Mungo.
Mungo. So that was our Saturday Night Live thing. Any honorable mention you want to throw out? One or two real quick? There's a million. We could talk about them for hours, I guess.
Throw out one at least.
Yeah, just throw out one. Everybody throws one. That's it.
Buckwheat.
Okay, Buckwheat's heads. Okay, looking for love in all the wrong places. Looking for love.
And it says looking for love in the caption. It's awesome.
PANUB.
Wait, was that yours or mine? Because I got
that was Ed's. That was Ed's. We sang the song for him.
Okay. Yep. Fred Garvin, male prostitute.
Willie?
One of my favorites always was, and Eric's going to help me out with their names, is the Wild and Crazy Guys.
Oh,
Dan Aykroyd and Steve Martin.
Well, it was George and they were the Fez Truck brothers.
Was that like Yergy and
Yergy and George or something? Yeah, Aykroyd and Martin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was horrible, just absolutely stupid. But
it'd be great, next year, for Halloween. Ed, Eric, you guys can dress up like each other. They had plaid pants, bell bottoms, and they had like a flowered shirt or something like that.
Yeah, I can't fit any of those shirts anymore.
I'm going to go with mine. I'm going to go off what you guys said with the Trump impersonation. I'm going to go with one of the best impersonations, I believe, I think ever on SNL was Tina Fey, Sarah Palin.
Yes.
Hands down was one of the best ever.
You're
I
right.
thought it was spot on. I thought it was funny, and it wasn't a mean impression.
No,
like
it was great.
I think it was just funny, spot on. And when Sarah Palin come on with her and stood next to her while she did the impression, that tells you that it's okay by the person. I think that's incredible.
What's the difference between a grizzly bear and a soccer mom? And
hockey
Amy
mom.
Poehler,
Hockey mom.
and Amy Poehler's going, it's lipstick. It's lipstick. She goes, lipstick.
So that's the end of that SNL. It's great.
awesome.
That was fun.
We could do that all night.
You know, SNL until the last, we can update. I think is still kind of funny, but the rest of the show has just become kind of stale. I do believe Kate McKinnon's awesome. I think she's funny, but after that, it kind of gets kind of weird. So, but besides that, I back in the year, man, through the early 2000s, man, SNL was a great show, and especially back in the 70s with Chevy Chase and all those. I mean, we could talk about this for hours. So, the way we're going to kind of mess around today with our brawl, we're going to do that right now. So, what I decided to do is I'm going to pick two guys in the group, only two, so one's going to be left out, and the question I'm going to give them is: should championships this year? I'm going to talk about actually baseball is one we're going to talk about, because basketball is kind of getting a closure, and so is hockey. They were kind of done. And football at this point, we're going to say that they're going to play a whole season. We can. But for baseball, do you think a championship from baseball should be treated differently from any other championship ever before? And I'll put Eric and Ed head to head on this. Me and Willie can judge it, because that's what we want to do.
I love to judge.
And I'm going to
Very
have
judgmental.
Ed say...
Have him go first.
But that's fine. But I'm going to give you what your answer is.
Oh.
So, Ed, you're going to say, no, you think it should be fine. And, Eric, you're going to say, yes, I think there should be an asterisk next to it. So go ahead, Eric.
I say there should be an asterisk.
Yes. So why should baseball get an asterisk next to a champion this year? Go ahead.
Well, it's a short season. It's 60 games. I mean, we're not gonna get the best of these guys. I mean, look at how long it takes for pitchers to get going, and we don't get a true picture of this of the organization. I mean, think about in 182 games, you know, we get to see a team get built. We get to see an organization get built, whether it's their young guys, their veteran players, overcoming injuries, overcoming other challenges within the season. We're not going to get that real picture this year of 60 games. I mean, we're almost a quarter of the way there. You know, and it just to me, it has to have an asterisk. It's not going to be a real picture of who these guys are. It's not going to be a true champion.
Okay, Ed, why do you think that it should be no asterisk?
Do we put an asterisk on 1981 when we had the split season? Did we put one on 1994 when? Well, we didn't have a World Series that year, did we?
No, 94 didn't.
I'm with Eric. It's like I won. No, I mean, we still play all these seasons. There's been a whole bunch of them where we haven't played the full season. Then we had the World Series against the A's and the Giants, where it got delayed for like weeks after the earthquake. Still came back. They didn't put an asterisk on that. We've had loaded balls. We've had, all kinds of crap during baseball.
That's what she said.
I was waiting for that. So there's no asterisk. If it makes the season, my fantasy league pays out if it makes the season, so that's all that matters. Still going to award it. I guarantee they're going to award an MVP, a Cy Young, which is probably going to be a relief pitcher. All the awards are going to be there. Why wouldn't you have it as a regular season?
So Willie, so since we're the judges here, what's your vote?
You know what? I think anytime you play a season, I mean, even though it's short, so you have to figure out what type of team you are. I'm going to go with Ed on this because I don't think it should be any asterisk. You just, what? It is what it is. It's nothing that they put on themselves. They're dealing with what they have to. The managers are trying to make the best out of the team that they do have. I say, yeah, Ed, I'll give you a star on your forehead.
Awesome. Third one in 23 shows.
I'm going to call it a tie. I'm gonna be diplomatic because here's what I'm going to say. 29 fans of other teams will say an asterisk. The winner will say no asterisk. Right? You're right.
You're right.
If the Cubs win the World Series, I go, bullshit, they won. I don't care. Yeah. But you know what, to be honest, I guess I tend to fall to Ed's side. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they're playing it. They're like, this week's going to be a real test for the Cubs, doubleheaders, and having these different pitchers against an opponent, they have to do this against a division opponent that's going to be important at the end. That the Cubs kind of have to, in a way.
Yeah, they're getting jobbed at
but
this
they have to pay for the Cubs following rules and a team not following rules.
Right.
That's what I think is crazy. Having to play these, I thought it was unfair to the White Sox. What the White Sox do wrong this weekend? They had to play 2 doubleheaders. You know what? You forfeit. I'm going to get off though, right? But once again, why are the White Sox and Cubs have to be forced to play doubleheaders in 7 innings? And these guys are all and these guys are fresh too. You think about it,
right? They've been sitting there waiting.
These guys have been playing the grind and playing games, and pitchers have been pitching 5, 6, maybe even 7 innings some games. Now we can bring guys up. Now we don't know who second starter is going to be. Now we got to play 5 games in 3 days, right? They're doing, I think, this week. I think it's 5 games in 3 days.
And the Cubs players have been, probably out partying, not getting any rest.
Well, yeah.
And St. Louis has just been sitting around relaxing.
Yeah, because they're following the rules, the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're so
They
good
figured
at
out how to do online gambling now. So.
Yeah, online.
But the online wings are hard to find. That's not that. My apologies.
It is. I mean, it's unprecedented what they're going through right now, and Ed and I are both basically right. I mean,
is the IRS going to put an asterisk on my tax bill this year?
If Scott, if you would have, and I didn't know where we were going to go with this question. I mean, if we would have went basketball, I would say, you know what? No, because basketball basically played the whole season, even though they had about a 3-month break, which is odd.
Pause.
A pause, yes. And football hasn't even started. Hockey is in the same boat as basketball. So if you would have went that route, I would say, hell yeah, there should be no asterisk. Yeah. It's a regular season.
Yeah.
Baseball is the one that's a weird venture here.
I think hockey and basketball are getting closure.
Right.
I think next year might be more of a test for them when they're starting in December.
Yeah, that might be a weird thing. Restart.
But people have agreed that the one year that basketball had their strike and they didn't start till December or January, that was the best NBA season ever.
Yeah, a lot of
you're right.
like
it was just it was playing games. You get the second half of the basketball season is always better because they play more games anyway.
Right.
And I just know that from fantasy.
They play more defense.
Yeah, but you get more games each week. Yeah. Where you really see we're kind of playing, blah, blah. But once that Christmas passes, then it's almost like after the All-Star break in baseball. It's not all Christmas is the line for basketball. Kind of to me, I know it's still early in the season, but that's when people start playing a little different. Yeah. And for baseball, obviously, it's their All-Star break. You get mid-July, that's when teams start fighting it out. So,
was there an asterisk on that NBA season?
No.
I think the Spurs won it. Yeah. So no, you're right. Yeah, there was.
And you got jobbed.
So who won? I mean, is it a tie?
Yeah, you guys both get shirts. So
awesome.
I'll get you shirts. Oh, you're wearing yours tonight.
I got mine on tonight. Who put the poll question out there about wearing your shirt? Nobody ever did.
Nobody put a picture out.
I do.
That's why I wore mine.
Oh, you do? I got it.
Well, I can't. I couldn't post it for some reason. Maybe
because it's on your Grindr page or what?
Well, I'll find it for you right now.
Forward it to me, and I'll.
Yeah, that person should win not a shirt.
You know what it is? It's
Gary.
No, it's Herman.
Oh, okay, cool.
Herman Moore?
No, our buddy Herman.
Tell him to post it right to the page.
He should.
Well, just send it to me.
Audrey's in this shirt. Okay. It's Kevin Herman.
I'll get it in for him. I'll get it on.
Good.
Yep. Well, I don't see the picture, so I'm going to put an asterisk next to this.
So I think it's time to jump into this week's beer tent.
I like beer cause it is good. I drink beer because I should. If there was a song to sing, I sing it and beer you bring. I drink beer when I am sad, cause the beer it makes me glad. Now there's nothing left to say, so let's go drink beer. Beer is good! Beer is good! Beer is good!
Beer is definitely good, and this week, my beer of the week is from Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Three Sheeps Brewing, and ironically, this beer by Three Sheeps is called the Wolf.
You sending the Wolf? That's all you had to say.
So the Wolf is, again, Three Sheeps Brewing, ironically called the Wolf. It's a 12.3% ABV barrel-aged stout, and it's just. I mean, these guys. I mean, you guys are drinking right now. You just put it up.
Ooh, yeah.
You just get a little sniffy sniff.
It's like sleeping in the corner already.
Smooth. You get the bourbon. You get the nice roastiness and the chocolate of the stout. It's just a great beer.
Yeah, usually I choke on these, but this one's really good.
I hate watching Ed choke. Scott just spilled it all over his shirt. He probably is pissed that I'm going to say that. But it's, it just beat it up a little.
Hey, that's pretty good!
Yeah, I mean, so it's great beer. Nice and strong. Again, a sipper. Something to sit by the fireplace with. Hanging out with your best friend Willie, Door County. It's a good beer. So 3 Sheeps Brewing, The Wolf. That's all you had to say.
It could be like 3 Sheets to the Wind, The Wolf.
3 Sheeps. When Eric was going on a triple date back in high school.
Call me Winston.
So let's real quick. Let's go to this week's Sports Minute and see what Jace has to tell us.
Oh gosh.
This is the Basement Benchwarmers Sports Minute. It was announced on Monday that the Big Ten have voted on a 12-2 vote that they will cancel the fall season and hopefully move to the spring to play. And then about an hour or so later, the Pac-12 came out and announced that they will also do the same. Houston Rockets announced that Russell Westbrook will miss the start of their playoffs. And the NBA announced that it was unanimous vote that Damian Lillard is the MVP of the NBA restart. Pelicans announced immediately after their last game that head coach Alvin Gentry has been let go. The Kings announced that they have fired GM Vlade Divac, and the Bulls announced that they have fired head coach Jim Boylan. This has been the Basement Benchwarmers Sports Minute.
Yeah, a lot of NBA and Sports Minute this week with the Big Ten. Obviously not the NBA, the Big Ten and Pac-10 canceling football. But today I did read Justin Fields from the Ohio State Buckeyes did get a petition signed by 15,000 people to allow them to play football this year. So that is something that may develop in the next few weeks. Not sure. But let's go to the NBA. First thing I'm going to say, I think a bubble MVP is ridiculous. It's 8 games. I know he played great, but it's stupid. And because why I think it's stupid? Because Giannis made the second team. So, whatever. He didn't play many games. It is what it is. It's 8 games, guys. Everybody relax. Take a breath. I understand. Yes, Eric?
It's like picking the tallest midget.
No, yep. You know what it was? He had a headbutt. He didn't get into it.
That's probably why. So now that the first round matchups are set, let's go back real quick and just remember our picks. I know I had the Bucks versus the Nuggets, and I had the Bucks winning in 6. I think I had that. What did you have, Ed? Do you remember Clippers and who?
Clippers, Bucks.
In 6, I believe, also?
Clips winning.
Okay, and Eric, you had the Bucks and somebody I know. Lakers?
I had the Bucks and Clippers, I think, at 5.
Okay, and then?
I had Bucks, Lakers. I think I had Lakers winning this, but I'm telling you, I think they got a target on them.
Okay. So that's what I'm going to get into right now. We all have our picks. We stick with them, obviously. We have to. We have no choice. That's we got recordings. We have proof.
Yeah, I used to be able to bullshit my way out of these things, but now it's recorded.
So let's go through these matches real quick, and we'll just kind of throw an answer out. So I'm going to go. Each guy's going to get to pick a series, okay? And I'll leave the juicy series for us to debate at the end, okay? So Ed, Bucks, Magic.
Bucks.
Okay. We're going to skip the Pacer Heat one. That'll be one that we can talk. We're going to go right to the Nets, Raptors.
Raptors.
Okay. Willie, we're going to go with the Jazz, Nuggets.
Oh, man.
Supposed to be an easy one.
I don't know. I don't think it's easy, but I'm going to go with the Nuggets.
Okay. And I'm going to go the Clippers, T-Wolves. I'm going to take the Clippers. So those are the 4 we got out of the way right away. So let's debate here. What do we got? What do you guys think of the Heat Pacers series, which the winner looks like they may run into the Bucks? So this may be for the Bucks. I was selling last week on the Bucks. I've still got my ticket. I might not hand that thing in yet. So what do you think, Eric? I know you got a thought right there.
So I think if we were to talk about this 2 weeks ago, we would have said Heat, and the Heat is the biggest maybe potential challenge for the Bucks. But the way that the Pacers played in the bubble, with T.J. Warren playing really well, and I mean they proved it straight up against the Heat that they could beat them. And I don't know. I think it's going to be we got a 5-game series. I think that's going 5, and I almost think you flip a coin right there with the Pacers and Heat.
Yeah. How did T.J. Warren not win the 8-game MVP?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Well, the Damian Lillard 61-point game probably.
Yeah,
F that whole thing up for TJ.
Yeah, that's pretty good in an 8-game average.
Yeah. The Heat, I'm going to lean. Yeah, it's tough. You mean the Pacers have Brogdon, Oladipo, T.J. Warren obviously now. Mm-hmm. They have actually Sabonis is out, correct? Or is he healthy?
Yeah, and Rick Smits retired.
Rick Smits is done. Reggie Miller has got a calf injury, I think, so he's going to miss. But the Heat, I mean, the Heat's just they're just a thorn aside for the Bucks. That's why I'm kind of one of those. Be careful what you wish for, but I'm kind of rooting for the Pacers here because I think the Bucks can handle the Pacers in a different situation. I just don't think they match up well with the Heat, and they haven't all year. It's just been weird.
The Heat are banged up too a little bit, too.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't trust the Jimmy Butler thing. He's a great player. He's here or he's here.
Yeah,
you don't know what you're going to get. Willie,
I'm going Heat alone on Duncan Robinson. That's what I'm going with.
He's Mr. Michigan.
Well, no, but hey, here's the thing: is
at least this week he played for Michigan.
Yeah.
You got Butler protecting him. Did you see that with what's his name from Houston?
Rusty Westbrook or Jimmy Harden?
Paul threw the ball off his head, off his back, I guess. Anyways, and then he got ticked off, and he went right after Paul and shoved him down. So. Jimmy Butler, he's a protector.
So it looks like we're kind of a mix here.
I like the Heat in that.
Okay, well, it looks like
maybe they'll tip it.
The great news is we have a good first round series there.
Yeah, well, we have a few.
Are...
I got this next one for you that's kind of interesting. I know they're kind of depleted too, the 76ers, but Embiid is playing again. I saw last night he played, I believe.
He's been banged up a lot.
But that Celtics 76ers, it seems like they always match up at some time somewhere in the playoffs the last few years. I don't know. The Celtics actually have to be favored in that just because of the not having Ben Simmons for the Sixers, obviously. But I don't know. I guess it is because I just don't see any scrappiness from the 76ers ever. They don't have it when they have a full complement of players. So you need to have some kind of scrappiness when push comes to shove. And just remember they were a ball bouncing off the rim back and forth 17 times from playing the Bucks in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, which would have probably been great for the Bucks, but it ended up not be. So once again, this is a team that was legitimately going to be an Eastern Conference finalist, and it just didn't end up happening for them. So, what do you guys think about the Celtics Sixers, Willie?
Hey, one thing I got to say, it's going to be Celtics because the Sixers are terrible on the road.
Eric, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he's exactly right. They're terrible on the road. Embiid's been banged up. Simmons is out. I think the Celtics are a pretty damn good team, so I got the Celtics almost probably sweeping.
Okay.
I like the Celtics. I think McHale and Bird are going to just dominate. I mean, Dr. J's so old now, and Barkley.
Red Auerbach smoking cigars.
Moses Malone is terrible, too. He's a walker getting down the court.
I have no idea who any of those guys were he was talking about.
So the one that another one that pops out on the page to me, another 4-5 seed. It's the Rockets, Oklahoma City Thunder. It's another one of those matchups that kind of go, wow. I think the Rockets are probably the better team, but once again, the team concept. The playoffs feed into the team concept a lot. The NBA, there's two different seasons. The rec when I kind of look at the rec ball when you play. Back in the day, we used to play in pick up in the gym. What was it? Up and down the court, shooting, playing very little bit defense. Sometimes when a push came to shove, you did. That's what the NBA regular season is. But the playoffs to me is it's the whole game is for like 2 minutes left in the game. It's half court, you get beat up. The game gets faster, like every other sport seems to get faster in the playoffs. And I think when it pushes themselves up, team sport's important. That's why I kind of have to give Thunder just a chance to hang out for a couple extra games in this because they're going to be around. And you give them a chance to get to that a game that's a tiebreaker in Game 5. Remember, you don't have home court advantage. You're playing in on a court in Orlando. So I kind of like Oklahoma to maybe be in this a little bit. That's why I brought it up. What do you think, Ed?
I agree. I mean, there's no home field advantage. This could be a shit show. I mean, seriously, we don't know what's going to happen. It's never been done.
Well, I mean, the Thunder got hot in the bubble. The Rockets also played pretty well. But I mean, did you go with me to the Bucks Thunder?
No, we couldn't. It's in the bubble.
No, I mean the Bucks. The Bucks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Early in the year when they went, the Bucks beat them by like 60. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Remember that way back when we could go to games, the Fiserv Forum?
Don't bring up bad memories.
Elote. And drink Hazy Rabbit.
And pricey beer.
Yeah.
Shake hands.
Yeah.
On Eric's company tab. Wait, sorry.
Quiet. They listen. And the
I'm kidding. I bought my own.
No, okay. So I mean, the Thunder got hot, but I think the Rockets are a superior team. I mean, Harden. I don't like James. I don't like Harden at all. He doesn't play defense, but he's an incredible scorer. Again, I don't think that one has much juice to it. I think it's Rockets all the way.
I think what it comes down to is who has the best hecklers on the bench, because everybody's got big ears on the court, right? Think about this.
It could. You never know.
Hey, miss a free throw, you're going to hear about it a long time. Miss a easy layup, you're going to hear about it a long time. So I don't know who has the best hecklers, but I'm just going to go with the Thunder.
Yeah. Okay. Doesn't Toronto got that guy that's an idiot, always yelling at everybody? The rapper or whatever?
Yeah.
Drake, but he's not there.
He can't be there.
Yeah, he can't be there now.
Yeah.
So is that going to be a disadvantage for them?
I don't know. So the last one on the page I left, it's a 1 versus 8 that's intriguing, and we had talked about it earlier. It's the Lakers, Portland. Don't sleep on Portland. I'm just going to tell the Lakers, and I'm sure they're not. But I don't. I'm going to tell you right now, if the Bucks had to play Portland, I think the Bucks would lose. I'd be worried about the Bucks losing to Portland. I really would. It scares me a little bit, and it's just being honest. I'm a Bucks fan, but it's scary right now. I mean, luckily the Bucks get to play the Magic. Hopefully they can get out of there and get their head right and get the rotation right. But back to that. So Willie talked about it a lot. He was adamant about this. What do you think about Lakers Trailblazers?
Hey, Blazers were my dark horse. I think in that show we talked about, it goes, hey, who's going to go there? And we all talked about these guys getting there. But I tell you what, Damian Lillard right now is a man on a mission right now. He wants to put that team on his shoulders, and he's going to go after it. I look at this. Anthony Davis has not been solid, in these 8 games. So I think the fact that if he has, a couple of off games here, it could be not looking good for the Lakers, my friend, even though I picked them.
Yeah, I was going to say, just to note, Willie picked the Lakers to win the whole thing. But I am going to go out on that limb. I'm saying Blazers upset the Lakers in the first round.
Yeah, that first game is going to be huge. I mean, this is going to be. I mean, if the Lakers get down 1 game, it's going to be tough for them to come back.
Now, you guys will be amazed when I say this because you know my feelings, but I do not think LeBron's going to allow that to happen. He is that kind of player that also can put teams on his back, and he's a different player, and he puts guys in position to score. Now that's the thing. Can a guy like Kuzma's
Kuzma's
had
from Flint, Michigan,
Kuzma
by the way.
Flint,
Michigan.
Kuzma, Jesus Christ! He looks like he drank the water by his hair color.
My gosh,
Kuzma has had a solid bubble series. It's bubble 8 games.
Game winning shot.
Yeah, so he's played well.
He says he doesn't care if Jesus was going to block his shot.
Yeah, Jesus. But I just don't. I mean, if the Blazers win, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, anything could happen in this bubble because it is the home court advantage. It doesn't matter. I mean, you could put all these teams in a cup of dice and roll them and say, here's who you're playing, because it's what you've played for all years for home court advantage. Be able to sleep in your own bed, force people to come to your place and play game 7s. And yet let your fans be in their ear from the tip to the end. And this I think Ed said something about a few seconds ago about this. It's gone. It's off the board. It doesn't matter anymore. There is no fan. They might pipe a little sound and have them on the board, fans clapping. Woo! It's nothing like being inside a stadium when the crowd is blowing your ear out.
All right. So now, my understanding is teams in the playoff that can bring people in. Is that true?
I thought family could come down for the playoffs. But I don't know. I'm going to tell you right now, they may have not changed it. I have to look it up. You might be correct. But if I was the NBA, I would not change a thing they're doing. They're nuts. They're crazy.
I concur.
I don't want any Bucks fan. I don't want any Bucks family coming down to have someone end up getting it, and
can you imagine if Sean Kemp brought his whole family?
Or Scottie Pippen.
Section 127 is Sean Kemp.
Pippen's family is in 123, 126, 128. I think Willie is right, though. That was the original plan, that they can now have family come in, but I don't know if that's changed.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's changed.
Which I don't think it can, because I think that might have been part of their agreement.
Yeah.
That's possibly because they get their wives down there. And,
I thought I heard they had to be able to prove how close they are to him, because it could be a lot of, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing?
What do you?
Okay, I just so
I think he's
are we
mentioning that girl with the afro.
are we
from the Hawks game
wrapping
again?
Are we wrapping up the NBA talk?
Why? You can talk more if you want.
No. I just want to know, because I'm gonna throw something out there. I'm gonna do a mic drop, and I'm gonna go use the bathroom.
This is live.
Hey, we do pee a lot around
Damian
here.
Lillard is better than LeBron James.
Well, I have my first trivia question here. Anyway, so no mic drop for you. I'm going to fully not disagree. I mean, but he was the best player in 8 games. I mean, here's what I'm going to say. Okay, I'm going to change this for you.
Okay.
If he was the best player, why aren't they a number 2 or 3 seed?
Hey, you know what?
Yeah, good answer.
I'm just being honest.
Find the pulse,
They should be
man.
a top 5 seed, top 4 if he's that great. If he wants to turn it on in the bubble, good for him. But don't get me wrong, the guy's incredible. If he threw on a Bucks jersey tomorrow and came to Milwaukee, I'd be like,
love
okay,
to see
that's
that.
cool. That's cool. I'll
Who
take
would you
him.
trade? Who would you trade for Dame?
Everybody but Giannis.
Well, I mean,
Good start.
Hey, both the Lopez.
Well, someone made a comment today.
Well, we can't ever trade Dante.
I
We
saw
can't trade
this on
Dante,
Facebook
right?
today. Someone said, I don't know what we're doing with Middleton. We should have kept Jabari Parker instead.
Oh, you got to be fucking kidding me! Where is Jabari Parker? Are you kidding me?
What kind of Kool-Aid they
I
drinking?
don't know. I think he dried my car at the car wash the other day. I don't have no idea. I have no idea. But here's my trivia question.
Hey,
So
Jabari, thanks for cleaning my golf clubs.
So Eric brought this up a minute ago about Devin Booker had a great bubble series also, and they won the last 8 in a row to finish out a season which didn't make the playoffs. So previously, the record was held by another team, had won 7 in a row, and did not make the playoffs. They weren't a playoff team. Do you guys know the team? I bet you won't get it. It's a fun question. It was I would have never got this. You got 5 seconds. Yell it out if you know it.
Is it a recent thing?
No. 4, 3,
Minneapolis Lakers.
2,
Atlanta Hawks.
1.
Detroit Pistons.
The San Diego Clippers is the answer.
At least I was close.
you were
San Diego.
San Diego.
You know what that's?
Hey.
You know what that's German for, right?
Hey.
It's German for a whale's vagina.
Oh, yeah. what was
Good stuff there.
What was it in?
I'm pretty sure it means
Anchorman?
San Diego.
Well, good night, San Diego. Go fuck yourself. Right? Was that it?
And that's why we have the explicit on our...
So it's that time of the show. It took a week off, but we're ready to go. It's time for Edge Shower Stall.
Everybody into the shower! Anybody in the shower in 10 seconds gonna get fined $100! Larry!
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi,
Get in
5
there.
Mississippi,
Hurry it up.
6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi.
So I was at Sturgis earlier this week, and I saw some crazy things there. The level of lawlessness was unprecedented. I mean, only like half the people were wearing masks. But I came home yesterday, and on my drive, I had an epiphany, and I decided that bikers need to be banned. They should probably be all thrown in jail, preferably Guantanamo, maybe with some waterboarding and torture. And just to clarify, I'm not talking about those, meth-addicted human trafficking guys that ride around on their Harleys wearing their colors. Those guys don't bother me. I'm talking about these little sugar eaters on their little bicycles riding around. Just this morning, I tried to go to Menards, and I get stuck behind 4 bicycles on a country road. They're riding 4 wide, going like 17 miles per hour. They run every single stop sign on the way to their park or wherever they're going. These pavement lemurs are dressed in their cute little uniforms, pretending to be racing in the little 500, hoping that Cyril and Moocher don't fall too far behind. Those goddamn cutters.
You keep Lance out of this.
In their minds, these uniforms are necessary to help them go all of 17 miles an hour. Whoa, look out, Greg LeMond, who, by the way, is now the only U.S. winner of the Tour de France.
That hurts, Eric. That hurts.
And I say good riddance, since everyone knows that the only real bicycle race in America is the Hell Track race, and our greatest bicyclist is Crew Jones. Remember when Crew blew off his SATs to compete against all the corporate-sponsored racers? Crew was rad, and he won against all odds on that day in 1986. You can look it up on YouTube. Not since American Flyers, back when Costner had a mustache.
Oh, great movie.
Has any American given one shit about bicycle racing. So I do not get the dressing up to go out for a bicycle ride. Does anyone put on shoulder pads and a helmet to throw the pigskin around with their 10-year-old? Does anyone use starting blocks to begin their walk down by the lake? Do you take 4 left turns and have a pit crew stop you on your way to go get groceries?
Wow.
I am so sick of these speckleheads impeding my progress when I need to pick up a couple of 2x4s. I wish Francis would steal their bikes and put them in the basement of the Alamo.
You know, I never thought of it that way, but yes, they dress in uniforms and go for a bike ride.
Ed, if there's like a Emmy for a podcast thing, dude,
I would finish second.
Yeah. I'm putting you up there, man.
So that's that was the shower stall this week. So let's move on to something else. I got a couple questions for you guys. It's a segment I've heard on different radio shows. Actually, I'm kind of stealing it. I'm stealing it. Fuck
Plagiarism.
I don't care.
Hell with it.
It's the old Would You Rather.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Now, this is the Would You Rather I've heard a couple times on there was
Waddle
questions
and
like, you can't shout out this guy.
Friends of the show, Waddle and Sylvie.
Are they? Not anymore.
Not anymore, because we're stealing things from him. Great, Willie.
Jesus, Fokker.
Don't take Willie to rob a bank with you.
Hey, you cut this out.
So these are kind of basic would you rathers. We're not going to go like to the kind of would you rather spend the rest of your life in prison or spend the rest of your life smelling you can smell poop all the time. Like that stuff.
Ooh, that's a good one.
We'll get more fun as the year goes on.
Can we talk about that more?
So I'm guessing you'd rather smell poop. it's too easy. That one.
I don't know. I like prison.
Ed likes chicken poop.
So here's a question. Okay, would you rather coach college or professional, Ed?
College, no question.
What sport?
Doesn't matter.
Anything.
I think professional.
How about bowling?
You'll make more money professional.
Professional. Okay. Ask Nick Saban how much he makes.
That's true.
But I guess for overall,
Yeah, I think overall.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Willie?
College women's sports, yes.
Wow.
Probably swimming.
Wow.
Swimming would be good.
Hide your daughters.
I thought you said that.
Mark that one down for the clip show.
Yeah, that's gonna be highlighted right there. Would you rather play in the game? Would you rather play a game? And I'm gonna say football. Okay, in the rain or the snow?
Ooh, football, huh?
Yeah. Would you rather play in rain or snow?
I'm gonna say the rain.
Snow, anytime.
Yeah, it's snow for me.
Snow.
Day, yeah.
You stay a little drier that way. I think in the long run.
Yeah,
The rain, the mud.
It depends though. If
You
it's
can't grip the ball.
but
it's
if
cold.
it's 70 and raining,
Brady,
I didn't give you
yeah.
a temperature.
It could be 35 and snowy.
Yeah.
32.
And that does feel warm. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay. So would you rather get paid a lot to be on a bad team, or would you get paid below average to be on an elite team?
I'd rather be paid a lot. Be on a shit team.
Money.
I want the trophy.
Oh,
look at Willie.
Willie's going to take less money.
He's only got a couple years left. That's why.
Yeah.
I want the trophy, man. I put it on my...
He's already collecting Social Security. He's in the money already. That $12 a month is perfect.
Holy crap, dude. I'm going to live in your basement, Scott.
So would you want to be would you rather be a team player or the star of the team?
Team player for me. Lot easier, man. Not as much pressure.
Can I be both?
Good answer. I like it.
Thank you, Willie.
No, I'm going with team, dude.
Team player?
Yep.
I'd rather be a star. Fuck everybody else. I don't give a shit.
The language.
No.
Go figure.
No. That's not how I would want to be. That question is weird. It should say, would you... I think there is a question like that in here. We'll find out later or whatever. One more out of here before we move on to something different. How about would you... Oh, this is the question. This is it. This is a better way to state it. Would you want to be a star player of a bad team or a team player on an elite team? That's the better way to state it.
I thought you already asked that.
Yeah, it's pretty much what you said.
No, I didn't say that.
Can I be both?
Yes, you did.
No, would you rather be a team player or a singular star? Or you guys aren't listening very well. That's the pay. I'm not paying you anymore.
Oh, okay, I got
What's
you.
your
All right,
Sorry, I was listening to the Wildy show.
Wait, he was paying us?
Yeah, I was listening to Waddle and Sylvie right now instead of my earphones.
Friends of the show.
So, what would you rather do? Be a star of a bad team or be a average player on a great team?
Willie?
No, I'd rather be a team player.
Yeah, I'd rather be the team player guy.
Okay. What is the line from us, Anchorman by Steve Carell? I
love lamp.
I love lamp.
I love lamp.
Okay, one more. Would you rather win the World Series or the Super Bowl?
World Series.
Super Bowl.
World Series, because it takes, win 4 games instead of 1.
It's a tough one for me.
Scott, what do you got?
I would say Super Bowl.
Yeah, baseball's history is like more. I mean, it's not like the Stanley Cup where your name's like engraved on something.
I think the
if you
thing,
put Stanley Cup in there, I'd pick that.
I would pick the Stanley Cup because your name's on it.
I would pick Super Bowl because it's more popular. Hate to say that at this point in time. No, I'm not. I'm being
you're
honest.
absolutely right. Yeah,
I'm being honest. I'm not that I don't. I love baseball and basketball and hockey. I like all the sports, but if you look at the mainstream, football is you win a Super Bowl. I mean, Christ's sake, there's an actual day people take off day after to watch this game and have parties that are bigger than New Year's Eve. So
I would still take
nobody has a World Series because you can't. World Series doesn't give you that. Give you that. You have to have 7 of them, maybe.
It's still the biggest.
Fun.
It's still the biggest championship, right? I mean,
Super Bowl.
Yeah,
because of the spectacle it's made into.
I think lately, over the last few years, at least for me, the gap is closing. But I still think the Super Bowl is the biggest championship.
And I think Willie would agree with me. If you had your name on the Stanley Cup, if you could have it on the Stanley Cup, which it lasts for how many years now? Is it like 50-some years it's on there?
I think more. I think more.
Yeah, it might be more than that. I would take the Stanley Cup over any of them.
Or Stanley, anytime you get your name on a cup.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
I can write your name on this cup and sit on this table if you want.
What about,
here, watch, Willie.
this is a
when I go to parties, I wear my name on cups all the time.
Yep.
What about the individual sports? Like, I mean, what about wearing a green jacket?
Individual's different, though. I mean, if you had a choice to be that's a good question. Okay, if you had the chance to be the best on the MVP of the Super Bowl or win the career Grand Slam in golf. I mean, I think I'd rather do golf.
Oh, I would too.
Yeah, that means you're the best at your sport.
Or even just win. Okay, I'm sorry, just win the green jacket, or win the PGA, or the British Open, or.
Why don't we test this theory out? You play in the Super Bowl. I'll golf.
Hey,
Willie, you go to sleep.
No. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be the Johnsonville Cornhole Championship.
Yeah, Willie. You something with cornhole always with Willie is weird. Willie and Eric did a lot of cornholing last weekend, but then it involved bags or a board. It was weird.
There's a hot stone involved too.
Lots of crying.
Why are we talking about our personal business here?
Okay, so I'm gonna hop into the end of the bench. I got a couple. And at the end of the bench, I've changed up. I've got a couple stories for you. It's kind of like last week. Dan LeBatard was a douche, as that was part of the week. So, and I think you all agreed when I was done, he was a douche, right?
Oh, I agree.
I didn't think so.
Okay, good. I'm glad. Okay. Yeah. So this is Toronto Raptors assistant coach Adrian Griffin was got in a little trouble this week. Anybody hear what happened to him?
No.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
This is even better. Eric, you haven't heard about this?
We'd love to hear about it, Scott.
Oh my God, I can't believe he is actually in line, possibly for the Bulls coaching job. He's one of the shortlist guys with other guys.
Well, that's right. By the way, Jim Boylan got fired.
Yeah,
right?
he got canned, as Jace told us earlier. We don't listen to Jace, but he did say that.
We do sometimes.
So his wife accused him of domestic abuse, his ex-wife. And which, once again, I'm going to state this before I read the article. I totally disagree with anything because she should have said something maybe when it happened. But the money was probably too good because he was an NBA player. So but I will say this. The story makes me laugh about the whole thing. Here's what she said happened. She said that at one point she was dragged across her front lawn by her hair. I laugh. I shouldn't have laughed. That's not funny.
Yeah, you're a Flintstones fan.
But when the accusations were made, his reaction was, Adrian Griffin said, one of his parts of a statement, "We are involved in a long-standing legal dispute over alimony and child support arrangements. I am disappointed to have to address false accusations in this way and apologize for any distraction this has potentially caused for our team at this important time." Now, what makes me laugh is that, so the biggest thing you're worried about is not your 4 kids reading this, is your team maybe losing an NBA championship. That's the most important thing in your life right now. Lie or not, if she's lying or not, that's not. But what I read to this is that I think he's guilty just because of that statement right there.
He's a team player.
But you know what? Honestly, do you guys agree? Just right there, I'd be like, I wouldn't even care about my team. I'd be like, I'm more. You know what? This is where I get selfish and go, yeah, this ain't. She's lying, and my kids shouldn't believe this. But bringing up the team, this is kind of weird to me.
He lost his focus.
Well, it's weird. You think he'd be worried about his kids?
Right.
He has 4 kids with his ex-wife. They have 4
absolutely.
kids.
He lost his focus.
So when you hear that, what is your reaction to it right away? I'll go to Ed last because Ed has a great reaction. But Eric, go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's just egomaniac. I mean, whether it's players, coaches, like Willie just said, lost his focus. He's got 4 kids. He's so focused on the prize of whether he wants to be a head coach or whatever, that he's ignorant to the situation. I mean, it's this very sensitive situation, and he's lost it. He's lost his mind. He's such an egomaniac that's all he cares about right now is his reputation.
Yeah, I mean, I look at the same thing there because that guy, you know what, you don't talk about your kids first about this whole situation right here, you're losing the whole focus, my friend, because it's a harsh reality right there to think about what he's not doing, what he's not thinking about. So you lose, kid.
He's an asshole.
I mean, are NBA guys known for worrying about their kids or taking care of their kids in just general? No. I mean, like we said earlier, Sean Kemp has 72 kids?
73.
Whatever it is, 73 now.
With Latrell Sprewell, right?
I mean, it's pretty well known. And I don't know about this specific guy, but these guys really don't care about their kids. You know what their thing is? I'm going to make them financially stable. I'm going to give them a bunch of money. Even like the Colbys, and that they worry more about the other stuff and let the wife or the nanny take care of it.
Well, the more, not to change subject on that, but the more I hear about Colby is that it sounded like he had, after his problems, he kind of turned a corner a little bit on that. But I just want to read what I forgot to say at the beginning of. Her post accused Griffin of several violent acts, including choking her, throwing her into a wall, which made an imprint of her body, dragging her out of the house while she was pregnant, and throwing a vase at her. If she's lying, she's very imaginative.
Yeah.
I once again, we all have to be part of the Me Too thing right now, and I'm all on board with that. You have to take these all seriously, but like I said earlier, it's kind of a few years later, and you are correct. It's like, and what Willie said and what Erickson, you guys kind of all said it, he's worried about what the team's going to happen to the team.
Yeah.
I'm more worried about what's happening in my name because he can get jobs later. I mean, like I said, he's on the Bulls short list. I mean, you can have an NBA job. I can care less about what Raptors going to do. I can care if they're losing. I hope they lose now so I can get my job and move on.
Can you imagine if your wife accused you of something like this and you're like, but tomorrow at lunch, I'm buying.
Tomorrow I got to get to work and I got to worry about getting a contract signed.
Well,
yeah, it doesn't make sense.
No, it's totally good example, great example.
The thing that the guy doesn't understand, and that people that are viewing him like us are seeing him as an asshole right now, basically because of this. And he should I mean, it's probably a selfish thing, but he should think about his own reputation as, hey, if I want to be a head coach someday, I should be a good person, right? Good family man, even though he's divorced and it's his ex-wife. I should care about my kids and I should put them first. I mean, it's sad that we have to say that, and he has to do that in a deceiving way, but the guy's not even thinking. He's not even thinking straight. Like we said, he's lost his focus. It's effed up.
Well, actually, the Raptors think so highly of him that Nick Nurse actually let him coach the last game of the bubble. He coached the game. Nick Nurse didn't even coach it. He let him coach. And almost like let him showcase his coaching talent for a game for a job.
And Nick's got a good. I mean, Nick's got a good reputation.
My God,
he's got a good character. He's got a good reputation, and for him to do that, but that's just and that. To me, that looks bad on Nick Nurse. I mean, this guy's potentially a jerk. I mean, if this is all true.
Yeah, his history, he played for Seton Hall, And then he played in the NBA for 9 years for Boston, Dallas, Houston, Chicago, and Seattle. And he was assistant for 12 years with Milwaukee, Chicago, Orlando, Oklahoma City, and obviously now with the Raptors. Like I said, he has 2 daughters and 2 sons with Audrey Griffin, who is...
Is there a timeline on this? Like, how long ago this stuff happened?
I don't have this here.
Was he on that Seton Hall
But I
team
did look it
that
up on
lost to
2 different
Michigan?
sites, and the stories were the same. And
I do have a problem with somebody bringing stuff up after years.
Just
because she's pissed off now.
Yep.
You don't know. You don't know. We weren't there.
She was fine with it. I mean, and it's not right, but she was fine with it for years until she's out of the picture. Now all of a sudden,
I agree with you. I mean, if she's pregnant, getting pulled across the lawn, or whatever, I guess it didn't say the lawn, so maybe I saw something else. He beat her. He threw a vase at her and pulled her out of the house when she was pregnant. Not sure it was across the lawn. I don't want to make up stories. So the other story I got here, so we'll leave Adrian Griffin and see. I guess we'll maybe come back to it when we see what happens next couple weeks.
Next year at the Bulls game.
Yeah, he'll be the coach. So anybody hear a story about the Seahawks rookie cornerback?
Yeah,
who dressed a lady friend up as a player to get her into his room. Kamar Severin, undrafted rookie. He brought a chick in and he put her in Seahawks gear to bring her in for a little. I'm guessing they were just going to study the playbook. That's all. And probably needed some of the work with the playbook with him. And he was cut. So
really,
but I'm gonna say something, and then we talked about this the other night. And the funny thing is, I'm gonna ask you a question: if Russell Wilson brought his wife in, would he be cut?
No. Of course not.
No, everyone knows who Sierra is.
Yeah, but once again, it's not legal. If okay, let's flip the script. Let's say we were just talking about
Chris Carson.
No, DK Metcalf.
Just say DK Metcalf, young up and coming receiver.
No, he would not be cut either.
Okay, so once again, shouldn't this kid been reprimanded and got him a chance? I mean, maybe he was cut for his play. But obviously, it happened the day after, so it's kind of weird.
No, I mean...
He's not good enough. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's...
Well,
remember Kareem
he
Hunt
was
kicking that girl in the face or
he's
whatever?
Back.
Yeah, he's good.
He's a great player. Yeah. So, I mean, this guy...
You got to let it slide if you're good.
In a way, Scott, he was cut because of his play and the potential of his
it's earning potential type thing.
Because whether it's cut down day or not, the guy misbehaved. And like we just said, if Russell would have misbehaved, he wouldn't be cut. So, it had to do with who he is and how good he is at football.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, we're talking about people in compromising positions, right? So we're talking about Reese McGuire with the Blue Jays, right? Yeah, so this guy was caught in a compromising position. He was like shellacking the shillelagh. He got caught by the cops. So... when he was... So, in the Atlanta Braves, he walked up to the bat. They played Beat It. Hello.
Good for them.
Yeah, you got to.
That is incredible.
What's the next best walk-up song somebody got fired for, probably?
It was Chuck Finley. When Tony Catan whooped his ass and he called the cops, the White Sox, when he came out to pitch, or coming out of the bullpen, they played Here I Go Again by Whitesnake, and the guy was fired.
Oh, my God.
That is a true story. Look it up, and it's a true story. It's one of the great... The guy that played the song, number one, should have got a raise, not fired.
This guy he's a legend. Yeah. That's incredible.
And Reese McGuire, my God, yeah. You deserve everything you got.
Can we talk about the elephant in the room in this whole story?
Okay.
Yes.
This guy brings a girl in, and right away they catch him because he put her in a cornerback's number, and she was a white girl.
Oh, my gosh.
And you
put her in a quarterback number, she would have got in. Or a punter or a kicker.
Right.
Yeah. That's right.
Did she have a red
Or
jersey?
a long snapper. She's a long snapper.
Rob
I bet she had a long snapper.
Number 60, Rob Davis. Oh, my God. No.
What the hell?
A red snapper. Is that what he said?
I said a long snapper.
Oh, long snapper, not red snapper. Oh, my. Wow.
You know what's
That's why
worse,
we're
though,
explicit.
is if he would have put her like in a lineman's number, and she would have got through or something. Then it's like,
Yeah. Okay, so
he is a rookie. You know, he's not getting the choices. You know.
So another story that happened this week was Cleveland had a problem with Mike Clevenger and Zach Plesac, who decided to go out and to have dinner in Chicago, and obviously it's against the rules. Yeah, it was no. Let's just put it that way. And Plesac was caught first, and Clevenger came out after to support his teammate Plesac, and they found out later that Clevenger was with him. So they both were they both had him sent home. Then they were optioned to the alternative site, which is like the minor leaguers, extra squad players.
It's like Guantanamo for pitchers.
Now they are back, but
Schomburg.
We talked about this earlier, and
same thing.
I mean, they broke protocol, and they're actually two solid pitchers. They're not bad pitchers. They're not these guys that are like so. You know, and back to the kid getting cut, and we talked about if it was DK Metcalf. But this team in the season, they took a stand and said no, go, because. When you're reading the story, the team did not know what happened, and the team was very unhappy, like the players, not the ownership or anything. They were mad about this because they're all doing what they're supposed to do, and then this happens.
And I think part of it is they were told a story by Clevenger, and maybe Plesac too, and it was not what really happened. And then Plesac on his ride home from Chicago in a car by himself or whatever is texting or whatever he's doing, Instagramming or whatever kids do, and he writes a bunch more bullshit, blaming everybody else for his problems, the media.
Yeah.
And
I agree. That was a problem. So that actually leads us to this week's top 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's tonight's top 10.
So this week's top 10 talks about Clevenger and Plesac, and it's top 10 ways that they kept safe when they broke protocol. So they took their own initiative, and they didn't understand why the teammates were so mad. We did these things to protect ourselves and you to keep playing games. So here is the top 10 things they did to keep safe. Number 10, liquor before beer. They're in the clear, they decided. Number 9, they didn't stop the Lou Williams hotspot for Salon Barbecue Wings. They stayed away.
Lou Williams.
They didn't do the Cardinal casino trips. That was number 8.
Yeah.
Number 7, when they went to Garrett's Popcorn, they got their own bags. They didn't share. Number 6, 1 escort per room per night.
Yep.
That was their plan.
Good rules.
I have the same rule.
Number 5, when the escort stopped by, rub the gloves and condoms. So, you know.
I do have that rule as well.
Number 4, when they went to dinner, they sat outside. Okay? Just, you know.
Patio.
Number 3, no sword fights.
Jeez.
Ed, can you speak to that?
I don't have that rule.
Number 2, when they went looting on Michigan Avenue, it's okay, because it's large groups are okay for that stuff.
Yeah,
but
protests
not
are
for anything
fine.
else. So they figured it was good. And the number 1 answer, what they did to stay clear and keep in protocol, they just went to a WNBA game. There's no crowds.
I watched the WNBA game today. It was on like NBC or something. I couldn't tell the difference. There was no crowd there. Like, you could hear the ball bouncing with an echo.
That 23 is sure good.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, Andre. We stand with
episode 23.
Hey,
it's an ode.
We stand with Andre. That's all we're saying. We stand
number
with
9,
Andre.
baby. Number 9.
Number 9. Next
Number
up
9.
in tonight's show is where are we at here, Phil? Oh,
action, baby, action.
The fan poll.
Oh yeah,
best action sequences in a movie. So we have some fan answers. Let's start with them. Well, you got a few. Let's kick it off with your answers you saw on the internet.
So I
this week.
have a couple here. So Boondock Saints, Kevin, former Michigan.
Kevin Herman, right?
Kevin Herman,
Yeah,
yes,
nice.
right. Point Break by Anne.
Oh, good movie.
Great movie.
Temple of Doom, when the boulders rolling down. Jenny mentioned that one. And Carl from Door County said Casino Royale with that parkour where this guy's jumping through.
The new Casino Royale.
Yes, absolutely. And then a friend of the show, Johnny B. Good, who has just recently been engaged this weekend. He said the Hoosiers, when Jimmy Chitwood is doing that montage of shooting threes back in the day.
So, Hickory, the Hoosiers, obviously one of my favorite.
Oh, hell
as I
yeah.
mentioned earlier.
You picked that
one.
one.
One of my favorite sports movies ever is me and Johnny Be Good on the same wavelength there. So, Ed, what is your one of your favorite scenes of a movie?
Well, I was going to say the
action scene. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say the Heat shootout because it sounds so real, and but I'm not going to go with that because I know other people have. Rolling Thunder. It's a pretty obscure movie from the 1970s, made by the same guy that made Taxi Driver. It's about a guy who comes back, a prisoner of war, Vietnam. After he's released, his hometown gives him like a gold coin for each day he was a prisoner of war. So, hundreds of thousands of dollars, whatever. Well, a group of guys break into his house. He won't give them the money. They kill his wife and kid. They grind his hand in the garbage disposer. So now they have to put a hook on. He doesn't give up the coins. So they put a claw on him. He eventually tracks all these guys down after a long, it's a pretty dragged out movie, kind of slow for a while. And he ends up in Juarez, Mexico in a whorehouse. And him and his best friend, played by Tommy Lee Jones from back in Vietnam, they go in there with shotguns. And they kill the shit out of all these guys. And it's like a 9-minute shootout, and they're just blowing everybody up, and it's awesome.
Nice. I've got a couple more on my on the page here from our loyal fans. John Principe says Heat, the bank robbery shootout scene.
Yep.
Very good. Jim Newberry says the Normandy landing in Saving Private Ryan, which if you've seen it, it's
Awesome
a
movie.
pretty intense part of the movie.
Crazy.
And you just don't realize it when you see that scene, and they cast obviously characters of age, and the youth that's being killed in that is insane, and it's obviously what really happened. So, great scene. John Boyle said the Napoleon Dynamite stage performance.
That sounds like Boyle.
Yeah. And Michael Talley said the bullet chase scene, 2 iconic muscle cars, and Steve McQueen doing his own stunts and driving. So great pick. Eric, what is your favorite action scene from a movie?
Newberry's pick of Saving Private Ryan, that's incredible. And
also, one of my favorite movies, Saving Ryan's Privates. But we'll talk about that some other show.
That's got a great action scene, and I can tell you guys about later.
Next week.
There's a lot of shooting in that scene, but it's not the type of shooting.
That should be a bench clearing brawl for next week. So my oldest son and I watched. I mean, and I didn't know how I was going to feel about these movies, but he's obsessed with these John Wick movies, and I've really gotten into them. We probably rotate these 3 movies out every month or so. But if you guys have watched John Wick, the 3rd movie. So in the 3rd movie, you have this turnover from the 2nd movie where, John kills somebody in the Continental Hotel, which is a no-no. So the manager of the Continental Hotel says that John is now excommunicado, which means he's out of the club, and we have this bounty on his head. So every assassin in the city is out to get John Wick. And it's funny, to do a tie-in with sports here, is the opening scene is with Boban Marjanovic, 7'4" Marjanovic, who plays for the... Who the hell does he play? He plays for the... Scott?
He plays for the...
He plays in the NBA.
Dallas.
No. Dallas is correct. Yeah,
so he...
Giant ears.
Yeah.
You have this opening scene where he beats the shit out of him in a library and ends up murdering him. He's a man of focus, of pure fucking will. So John Wick gets into this antique armory museum, and he's like picking out all these old guns, and these guys, these Asian dudes come in, and they're like ninja-like, and it's just an incredible scene where they're breaking cases and they're grabbing knives and they're throwing knives at each other, and it's just unreal. And of course, John Wick is faster than everybody else in almost this sci-fi fashion. He's just incredible. He's not the man. He's not the boogeyman. He's the guy you send to kill the fucking boogeyman. And the scene ends with him throwing an axe in this guy's forehead. It's unreal. So my scene is John Wick, Chapter 3, the antique museum scene.
Sounds like kids would love that.
The next group I got a few more from our poll on the interweb, And Chris Fry said the Blues Brothers getting the payment at City Hall.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Great.
Ryan Miller said Debo taking bikes, or taking the dude's bike, and that was in
Fridays, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Dan White says Jesse Ventura in Predator, the old painless scene.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we have Rick Beasley, John Wick 2 shootout scene, he said. So, John Wick 2. Also, Bob Shesp said shootout scene in the street in the movie Heat with Pacino and De Niro.
Dude, it's the most realistic sounding shooting I've ever heard.
So, Willie, what is your scene?
I forgot to. I said all the crap I said, and I forgot to say what I thought. The Revenant with the bear.
Okay.
If anybody's ever seen that before, it is. They do that, CGI is that they call it, whatever it is. But it was crazy how they just flipped this guy around and.
Willie, a newfangled term, CGI.
What the hell am I talking about here right now?
So the bear scene, you're saying?
Yes, I did say that.
Another good bear scene is the one in Super Troopers.
So a couple more on the intro. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Willie.
No, I wanted you tell me more about it.
No.
So a couple other ones I got. Jody Anderson, his honest answer is the climax of The Way of the Gun. I don't know if I've ever seen that Way of the Gun.
I don't know if Jody's ever had a climax before.
I don't know. And the humorous answer is the hysterical passenger scene on Airplane. Which that is a great action scine. That is. But I got to look up The Way of the Gun, Jody. That kind of got us stumped here, all of us here.
Is that the one, is that Sharon Stone and...
I'm not sure. We'll have to ask, maybe Eric knows. Eric's taking a piddle break right now, so we'll have to ask.
Where's Jace for research here?
So Shauna Perez said when Burt Reynolds drove through the town and jumped the canyon in the rocket car in the movie Hooper.
Hooper! I love it!
Gabe Garcia put a picture, it looks of Jean-Claude Van Damme breaking bricks. And then it was called the Kumite Championship. Kumatai. I'm sorry, yeah. Hey, have you ever heard the movie Way of the Gun, Eric? Way of the Gun?
No, but I'm willing to learn.
That we all haven't heard. He said that was his honest answer to climax from The Way of the Gun.
He said climax.
Jody Anderson. But his humorous answer was the hysterical passenger scene from Airplane, which I like them both.
That's awesome.
Robert Lorenzo said Shawshank, the laundry room scene.
Of course he did.
What was my reply to that?
Nick Sturch says so many good ones, but church scene in The Kingsman.
That was pretty good, but it was kind of...
Yeah.
Mike McGonigal, which I agree with this. If you haven't seen it, it is insane. The first 10 minutes of The Sixth Underground with Ryan Reynolds, it's a Netflix movie. It was crazy. Yeah. The Dark Knight bank robbing scene. And Andy Heller said any part of Hot Sharks.
He started.
He did. He just admitted what happened. That's why I had to walk away.
Hot Shots Part 2 with Charlie Sheen. So my scene is I had two. My first one was going to be funny. I'll do like Jody, and it was the pepper and the burger scene from Dumb and Dumber. That was awesome. It was the good, out with the bad. We didn't mean it. It was a goof. Anyway, but my serious scene is the last scene of the movie The Fugitive with Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones. That was one of my favorite movies. I know it was a remake, but it was one of my favorite movies of all. That's a great movie. The One-Armed Man. It's just an awesome movie. I mean, it's cool. I'm a big Harrison Ford guy. Any guy that's 70 years old had an earring, man. 70-year-old and earring, man. They're cool in my book.
And that movie is so good. I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yeah, Alec Meal. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Only guy I know that's crashed a plane like 3 times.
Yeah, and lived
every time.
Roy Halladay once and he dies. Jesus Christ!
Because he's not a druggie.
But the guy that plays the one-armed man, and you don't see him in any other movies, but he's just. What is this, a trench coat convention? You know, he's hilarious, and he comes in. Of course, I killed her. I have one arm. You know,
with a face
and
like
ends
that.
up being him.
And to be honest, Tommy Lee is one of my favorite actors ever too.
Awesome.
He's awesome, and I mean, he's been in the Batman movies a couple times. He's been in obviously Fugitive,
Men in Black.
Men in Black, which he played almost like the straight man to Will Smith, and he did a great job of it.
He was in my movie Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, he was in your movie Rolling Thunder, which is a ride. It used to be a Great America back in the day. It's a bobsled ride, Rolling Thunder. Let me remember that.
Nope.
Okay. Anyway, we'll move on.
I can't believe nobody mentioned Deadpool.
Oh, my God! I forgot about it.
That was good.
You know what? Deadpool is probably one of my favorite movies ever.
Ryan Reynolds,
slow motion.
Ryan Reynolds, and then he makes his comments during a slow motion, and some of the things he says are
insane.
awesome.
Yes.
They are awesome. So at this point, where are we, guys? Where
Do we
are
have any other extras you guys?
Yeah, you know
wanna
what? Do you
throw
guys have any like other scenes that pop in your head that you liked? Ed threw out Deadpool. Eric, you got another one you might.
Well, what about the Anchorman scene where the heads of all the
Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, Brick actually kills a man. I mean, I stabbed a man in the heart.
Brick. Willie's
saw that.
from Flint, so we probably seen live action scenes in real time.
Willie, what is the one we talked about earlier?
Well, I don't know what we talked about. I can tell you what I remember. So I'm going with Born Supremacy, the bathroom fight scene.
Yeah, that's awesome too.
So what did you guys talk about earlier?
We were talking about brain fart.
Oh, brain fart.
Oh yeah. Oh hey, what the hell? What is that show?
I actually think the scene in Waterworld was very good. No, I'm just kidding.
There's actually one Sicario with where they go across the border, and then like the gangsters from Mexico are in the car, like 2 cars next to them, and they all jump out and they just kill everybody in those cars.
Nice.
Like, it's going to be all over TV, and they drive away, and they're like, that ain't going to make the news in Juarez.
Wow. I'm trying to think of anything else out there. Actually, there was a pretty good scene in the movie Dusk Till Dawn. Big fan of that. Tarantino movie with Salma Hayek and George Clooney.
Yep.
Big fan of that movie. Kind of one of those ones everybody forgets about. I think one of the best action scenes actually. That's kind of it's not really an action scene, but it's Pulp Fiction when they're in him and Samuel L. Jackson and John Travolta are in that guy's apartment.
Yeah.
And it's so intense, you're like, they're going to kill this dude, but when they're going to do it, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? And they keep messing with him.
Look at the
Royale, they talk about the
Cheese Royale.
Cheese Royale.
That is a tasty burger.
Yeah, and it's like you're sitting there going, yeah, something's going to happen. You keep going, I don't want to watch.
That's
What's
a
going to
tough
happen?
one.
Those are the best scenes.
Yeah, when
it's
sweat
coming,
out, you're like sweating it out.
it's coming. When is it coming, though? And it's just, it's one boom. That's it.
Look at the big brain on Brett.
Check out the big brain on Brett.
So, yeah, Pulp Fiction is one of those that I can get behind. That scene alone is pretty crazy, just because it's so intense, you know.
Absolutely.
So, any other ones pop to your head? Anybody? No.
I had Bullet. You know, Forrest Gump when in the firefight scene there, where he's like, and then it stopped raining, and then all of a sudden there's just like shots everywhere.
I got
and
shot right in the buttocks. I got shot right in the buttocks. It has a $1 million wound, but I never seen those $1 million.
and then Bubba gets killed.
Something just jumped up and bit me.
Something just jumped up and bit me. Yeah, no.
It's actually a great action scene. You know, the bullets, you can see them just screaming through the air and everything.
Forrest Gump is a great movie. Actually, another movie that I was a big fan, Oliver Stone, Platoon.
Oh,
yeah, that was a very realistic. I don't know about your dad. My dad was in Vietnam. I don't know about your dad, but he said that was pretty.
Yeah,
pretty on point overall.
My dad,
overall,
he
it
likes
was
that one. He hates Apocalypse Now.
Everybody hates Apocalypse.
Yeah,
it's so overrated.
I was a fan of what was the movie with? I always forget the Vietnam movie.
Full Metal Jacket.
Full Metal Jacket. I like until when they leave boot camp. I don't like after boot camp. I don't like it.
But that fight scene
after what's name kills himself in the bathroom. Private Pile.
Yeah.
I hope I ruined it for everybody. But after he commits suicide. After that, when they go to Vietnam, McConaughey, or not McConaughey, his name's Modine.
Matthew Modine.
It was okay, but the best part of the movie is the time in boot camp with the actual ex-drill sergeant actor that was actually a congressman at one point.
Yeah,
Arlie Ermey.
Yeah, so he was so realistic. He was a great part of that, and after that, the movie was good, but it was an Oscar winner, I thought, in the first 45 minutes.
It's a long movie, but it's, I mean, it's like almost 2 movies.
Yeah, but it was good overall. But yeah, the Private Pile thing was insane. And my dad said, he said it was like that, but you never really saw that much,
Is that Stanley Kubrick?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so it was a good movie. I don't know about you guys if you liked it at all. But
I do.
And I agree with you on Apocalypse Now. I think it's way overrated.
I've actually never seen Apocalypse Now.
It's good.
It's actually the book Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad, and then they turned it into this Vietnam type thing.
Never seen it.
Marlon Brando is just weird in it. It's a very weird story.
Yeah, it really was. The whole story had nothing to do with Vietnam. It was about Africa.
Yeah.
And then they turned it into a Vietnam, and I think it's way overrated.
Oh, they ruined it then.
But I mean,
they changed the book basically.
If you ever read the book, yeah.
Reading is fundamental.
Eric read it.
Wait, stop. Time out, stop.
Heart of Darkness.
Hold on. You said read a book.
Wait, did Ed read?
Besides
Heart of Darkness?
I did read Heart of Darkness.
Besides KUSD, what they forced me to read, I've read 3 books in my life out of school. Dicka, Peyton, and McMahon. That's all I've ever read in my life. Those 3 biographies.
You never read
They actually
Catcher in the Rye?
They scribed the book
There'll be a
about
movie.
McMahon.
That's a
Jim
thing?
McMahon.
Oh, no, I read a Bo Jackson book, too.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yes.
Yeah.
I read a Bo Jackson book, too. I'm sorry.
Are you talking after college? Because I read that Jimmy Buffett book. Pirate Looks at 50.
I actually read, to be honest, I read all those books when I was kind of still younger. So I read them all. Well, back in the 90s, probably I read them. So.
I read Heart of Darkness in college.
So I didn't read. I read Scarlet Letter like you were supposed to, and I read
Nathaniel Hawthorne.
Yeah, it was okay.
Catcher in the Rye was a typical.
I didn't read Catcher in the Rye. It wasn't legal probably anymore.
How about Willie Lives? Did you ever read Willie Lives?
Willie Lives.
Hopefully he does.
You know what's funny is I
want to read the Cliff Notes of that one.
I've had Stranger in a Strange Land sitting on my table next to my bed probably since November.
Is that your coaster for your drink?
And I haven't even opened it up yet. And I'm like, I'm going to read this book. No, I'm not going to read that book.
Yeah, so
I'm going to use it to start
what
a fire.
other book? Hey, since we're still sitting here, what books did you have to read in school? Willie, the Bible, I know.
Actually, the Old Testament.
The Old Testament.
Well, in school, like To Kill a Mockingbird.
I didn't have to read that in school.
Really?
Well,
what the hell?
Tom Sawyer, Huck Finn.
I think I've read both of those. Yeah.
I had a whole class when I was in high school on Shakespeare, so every Shakespeare play.
Oh, yeah, I think I had to read Romeo and Juliet, and I think I had to read Hamlet or something. You're correct about that.
I mean, Shakespeare's in
that Bill Shakespeare.
Yeah, I took a literature class in college.
It was the hardest.
Is that Bill Shakespeare?
It was the hardest to read.
I think he's been using his paper for something other than writing for Roland Doobie.
That was dead on.
Well, actually, we encourage him to write. Shut your yapper!
I just wish you would shut your big yapper. And that's great. There's Phil Hartman. Phil Hartman's so good.
Not anymore.
They died around the same time.
He didn't. The crappy thing about Phil Hartman, no offense to Farley and all them, they killed themselves.
Yes,
but Hartman was a great guy. Did not want to die. Let's put it that way. He was killed by his wife. And he was as funny as anybody ever on that show.
He was so good.
Ever. He was great on The Simpsons. He was a bunch of characters.
And that show, what was the show? News Radio.
News Radio. He was awesome on that show.
But I mean, think about Phil Hartman in those skits, and I know Chris.
Domestic violence.
Yeah, Chris Farley gets all the credit, but Phil Hartman's like. So he's been downstairs drinking coffee for the last 4 hours. It sets up that scene so well.
Yeah.
Kids.
Andy was the caveman.
That's right. He was the caveman guy. Yeah,
absolutely.
Phil Hartman was so good.
Troy McClure. You may remember me from films such as Alice's Adventures Through the Windshield Glass.
Well, wasn't he all... I could be off. Wasn't he the voice of Jack Handy also? When they brought the Jack Handy quotes
he might on the quotes.
Jack
Handy's a real guy.
But he was the voice that he always read the quotes when they brought up the Jack Handy. Yeah, Jack Handy was the guy.
Awesome.
But the quotes, I think Phil Hartman read.
Really?
I think he did.
He was just a great voice. Just a great voice.
So I am back. Okay, so we got off tangent on the book.
Go figure.
So Willie read his first book was on Stone. Yeah. We all agree on that, and
it was the Seventh Commandment.
He actually had a hand in the eighth. What the hell is the eighth?
You got a problem with that?
What happened? I blacked out.
Well, he's like, this is the top 10. Let's make a joke of it.
Do you have a problem?
Yeah.
What the hell?
He's reading the Dead Sea Scrolls over there.
So like no other books in high school that you had to read. You were forced to read. If you read books in high school, you were a nerd.
Yeah, I remember.
No.
Like that we were forced to read.
Yeah.
I remember The Things They Carried, which was like an African book. I remember Black Rain, which is a Japanese, like about the fallout from Hiroshima.
Oh, okay.
That was about it. I don't remember. I probably didn't read all the rest. I hate reading.
Readings.
He likes reading plans.
Yeah.
But I mean, do we want to have a segment on sports books because there's so many good sports? I've told you guys over and over about
Mickey and Me.
The
Read
Barry
that one.
Bonds book, Playing for or Game of Shadows, and the
Bless You Boys, Sparky Anderson.
Lance Armstrong.
85.
That's right.
I can't even say the Lance Armstrong book with a straight face anymore.
I think it said Brett Favre's
I think
book.
it's called Seven.
Didn't they make Brett Favre's book into a movie called Hot Tub Time Machine? Oh, I'm not sure.
What was the Jim Bunning book? Remember?
You think of Ball 4.
Yeah.
Jim Button.
What was Croc's Ball 1?
That's what she said.
No, I mean, there's been a couple famous baseball books. Quite a few, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what's the name?
Bob Uecker had Catcher in the Rye.
The one guy wrote
Jimmy Pearsall.
The one
Jimmy
guy,
Pearsall, yep.
what's the name? Wrote a bunch of that one book. I can't remember, but it
Dick
wasn't
Schaap.
a baseball book. I can't remember the name of it though. I can't remember his name. Whatever.
Tuesdays with Maury.
Yes,
That's
that
a
was
great
it.
book.
Is that what you're thinking of?
Yes, I was, and it was the guy.
Is it Lou
Yeah, Mitch Albom.
Mitch Albom. Yeah.
He's the
That's a
He's the
great
Boston
book.
writer, correct?
No, Detroit Free Press.
Detroit. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
you
Boston
couldn't remember.
guy.
Okay,
Go
stop.
figure.
Stop right now.
Who's the Boston
Stop.
guy? Bob Ryan.
Real quick.
No.
Real quick.
Bob Ryan's the Boston guy.
Let's reverse the time machine here to last week.
Okay.
Name 5 rushers who rush over 2,000 yards. Willie didn't name Barry Sanders, but he knew right away that Mitch Albom was for fucking Detroit. Are you kidding me? You gotta be kidding me.
Because I was afraid to be wrong.
Willie's a scholar.
I'm a goddamn genius.
Seriously, he's still putting unleaded gas in his car.
Is that wrong?
That's like Jesus Christ, Willie. Willie, you never cease to amaze me.
Kerosene Willie.
Just light him up when he goes.
That's right.
Okay, you know what? I think we're done. I think we had a good show. We just talked about nothing really all night. Next week,
We have to pick a winner.
Oh yeah, a winner.
We have to pick a
I'm
winner.
going to pick Jim Newberry. I'll
Oops.
start with Saving Private Ryan, the scene in the beginning, because that was probably one of the best action scenes, and he's the one that picked it. So I'm going to pick him. Not that you have to, but I'm just picking him. Willie, who do you think?
I'm going with Johnny B. Good because I'm telling you what, that clown, he's got engaged. Go figure.
What movie did he pick?
He picked
Hoosiers.
Hoosiers.
Oh, that's a good scene.
I'm going to pick Jim Newberry because he's just a good dude.
And I was going to pick the guy that picked the Blues Brothers just because that's a great scene. And Steven Spielberg is the assessor sitting in the office during that, if anybody knew that.
Well, they're all good picks, but it looks like Jim Newberry wins
Jim
this
Newberry.
week.
Oops.
Jim,
Nazi.
if you listen, and I hope you do, get a hold of us, and we will get you your shirt out to you, your Basement Benchwarmers t-shirt. Once again...
They're cool shirts, dude. They're very nice. Very nice.
Once again, if you have a shirt and you wear it, take a picture and send it to us, and we'll put it on our Facebook page or Instagram, and or share it yourself right to our page. Once again, we are the Basement Benchwarmers podcast. You can check us out on Facebook at Basement Benchwarmers, also at Instagram at Basement Benchwarmers. Also, our Twitter is Base Benchwarmer, and our email is basementbenchwarmers@gmail.com. So, closing thoughts tonight. Willie, we'll start with you. What are your closing thoughts?
Holy crap, you always start with me first. I can't think till the next day most of the time. So, yeah. I guess I'll see you next Sunday.
Sunday. Eric.
Are we going to talk about fantasy football next weekend?
Maybe. We'll find out. I don't know.
Are you jonesing on there or what?
He really wants to get in the league.
He's never been in a league before.
I don't have many friends.
So yes, we'll be in contact. Hopefully, we talked about this last week. We'll be in contact with some guys to do a fantasy football draft. It will be next Sunday during our show. Hopefully as fast as possible. Take only a few minutes of the show, or the first maybe 45 minutes of the show. It will be our Basement Benchwarmers fantasy draft, and we're going to ask 9 other guys to join us. And each
it could be women too.
Oh yeah, women too. If you want to do it,
I'll pick 2 women.
Yeah, that's fine. Women can join it too. And we'll have 4 divisions. It'll be named after each of us bench warmers. And the division with the best record will win for the year. And then we'll have each one team from each division will make the playoffs, and we'll go from there. But once again, and the prize will be a T-shirt for all the people in the division that prevails. So you'll be rooting for your division along with your personal self to win.
A signed T-shirt.
A signed. Oh, yes, that's a good point.
We have to sign Chewy's T-shirt.
Yeah, Chewy, before you guys go, we got to sign a T-shirt tonight before you guys leave. For Chewy last week, he won. Matt Chihuahua wants to sign a T-shirt by all of us, so we will get him that. And
oh man, that's going to be worth a fortune.
Yeah. That thing will be on eBay for $17, probably pretty quick. So, but besides that, I'm sorry. So, Eric, any other closing thoughts?
Just to conclude, I could use a little bit more cowbell.
Ed?
Yeah, I think it was a really good show tonight. I mean, it's kind of like our Seinfeld episode here. It just didn't. There was nothing. It just filler.
Much to do
it was all filler.
All filler, no killer. That's actually the name of an album by Sum 41. Actually, all filler, no killer.
Is that right?
I
it
up.
Would not know that.
Double check it. Maybe
Did not know that.
Don't even care to look it up.
Yeah, I don't think Ed cares to look it up. So, once again, my closing thoughts are, these guys are all douchebags. So, besides that... No, I'm just kidding. They're all great guys.
Wow. How do we wrap this up?
We are the Basement Benchwarmers Podcast. Everybody have a good week. Stay healthy. Wash your hands and tell your friends about us, because we are awesome.
The faster we're falling, we're stopping and stalling, we're running in circles again. Just as things were looking up, you said it wasn't good enough, but still we're trying one more time. Maybe we're just trying too hard, when really it's closer than it is too far. 'Cause I'm in too deep and I'm trying to keep up above in my head instead of going under. 'Cause I'm in too deep and I'm trying to keep up above in my head instead of going under. Instead of going under. Seems like each time I'm with you, I lose my mind because I'm bending over backwards to relate. It's one thing to complain, but when you're driving me insane, well then I think it's time that we took a break. Maybe we're just trying too hard, when really it's closer than